Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video, we're going to talk Conquest: The Last Argument of Kings, and we're going to talk one character from each faction that you should start your Conquest: Last Argument of Kings army with. And so what we're going to aim to do in this video is we're going to talk about a character that's going to sort of fulfill a role as a generic sort of character for the army. This is a great one to sort of get to learn the rules of the game and the rules of the army with. And in general, just a very basic character. And so we're going to name all those sort of basic characters here for you so you can know where to go with to start for your faction. Now, if getting into an army is too big, or indeed, if something you want to get more into and dive in deeper at your first shot, there are starter boxes you can get as well, but you can also pick up singular box sets. So you have different price points of entry for what you want to get into with Conquest. But today's video, let's get cracking on and let's look at one hero for each of the Conquest: Last Argument of Kings factions that you should start your army with. And so, starting off with the Wyckhelm, I'm going to suggest the Walrune as your first character to pick up for this faction. He's a cool little combat-focused heavy unit character available to the Wyckhelm. Pretty much, he's a solid fighter, in all honesty. That's really what he's all about. His supremacy ability is pretty cool, as that adds one to your heavy reinforcement rules, and it's always considered to be active at all times, which is really nice. And he's also got access to both combat and tactical masteries, being able to help and get some extra benefits amongst those. The mainstay units he's bringing to the table as well in his Hold Ballistae, Hold Thanes, and Hold Warriors are all solid choices, and has some good restricted choices in Dragonslayers, Fireforged, Ironclad Drakes, and Stoneforged as well. I like his mainstay units especially. He brings in a lot of the sort of stuff that you're going to really form your main battle line around, which makes him a perfect hero to pick up first, as he's going to give you that sort of core center of your army to begin with. Moving on to the 100 Kingdoms, and I'm going to suggest the Noble Lord. Now, you can certainly pick up a cavalry-mounted option of this character if that's something you wish to do. That'll definitely build a more cavalry-focused force, but I think the one on foot is great. He's a little bit cheaper for your buck, and he's a really cool model. So, medium-class infantry character that's a great buffed piece of units around him, mainly because his supremacy ability grants rerolls of 6s for defense and clash and rolls to units in his warband that are nearby him. He has access to combat and tactical masteries, able to get some extra buffs out of them, and he can also take some interesting weapon art abilities which give a variety of different effects to him, which is really nice. And he can take battlefield drills, which can give him access to different draw abilities. Court Squires, Household Guard, Men-at-Arms, Mercenary Crossbowmen, Militia, and Militia Bowmen make up his mainstay units available to him in his warband, and this just means he's got a wide pool of units he can pull from. So many different options here on what you want to do, how you want to build your list around him, make him just a really versatile and useful character. Household Knights and Longbowmen and Mounted Squires make up his restricted units, giving you even more good options to sort of mix and match and really get the most out of a character like this, because he's got so many options he can bring to the table. On to the Nords then, and the Bloody is the character I'm going to suggest. Now, the reason I suggest him over someone like the Jarl, which is maybe a little bit more universal a character, is I really like his supremacy ability. It allows all units in his warband while he's on the battlefield to get the flank special. This allows your heavy units to come in all that easier, which is pretty cool. He's a medium unit, so he's going to come on with mediums. Once he's on, your heavy units are going to be able to come on that much easier, which is really, really cool, because he does have some different heavy units available to him in his warband options. Now, he can take an animal totem aspect for a variety of different cool abilities, and he can take more than one if he's got a tactical tier 2 retinue available to him. He's got access to combat and tactical masteries, and then he gets a lot more of the more feral side, the more bestial side of the Nords available to him. So Stalkers, Trolls, Ogre, and White Waste Tribesmen are available as mainstay units. Meanwhile, Bowchosen, an awesome shooting unit, Fenrir Beast Pack, Golter Beast Pack, and the amazing Mountain Jotnar, Nefher Beast Pack, and Werewolves are the restricted units available to him. A ton of heavy units in there. Really good for having that flanking rule there with to get those heavy units on and fighting as early as possible. I really love this model, and the fact he can throw his sword at people for a barrage attack is just amazing. Moving on to the Spies, and I recommend picking up a Biomancer as your first hero. They're a light cast character, and they can heal nearby units with their Mend Flesh special rule, which is pretty sweet. And the Supremacy ability is really cool and quite powerful. It boosts up the attack characteristic and gives the decay rule of varying power levels based upon the unit types of the units around them that are benefiting from the buffs. They can take extra draw events to have access to arcane and tactical masteries, and also access to Biomancies, a weird flesh mending sort of spell lore that they have for the Spies, and then the mainstay units for them are bound clones and Forscaran drones. This is a little restrictive, but these units will serve you really well as good hubs for your bases of power, and you've got great restricted units in Abominations, Desolation Beasts, Desolation Drones, and Incarnate Sentinels. Particularly, I'm a fan of the Abominations and the Incarnate Sentinels. Both are really solid unit choices for the Spies. And lastly, for the Walrune, I recommend the Predator. He's a light infantry character, and he's got some decent shooting on him with that giant crossbow. Has a supremacy ability that allows rerolls to charges and give bonus charge distance to both light and medium units while giving extra attacks out to heavy units from their warband. And they choose to be from a particular one of the cults, Death, Famine, Conquest, and their warband must also be part of the same cult, where the hunt gives access to a couple of different draw abilities, and combat and tactical masteries are available to be taken by this hero. Mainstay units include Blooded, Braves, Hunters, Hunting Pact, and the amazing looking Raptor Riders, a great versatile spread of different units available to them. And the restricted units are Apex Predator, the best unit, and well, if Orcs riding dinosaurs doesn't sell you on this faction, I don't know what will, but Slingers and Tontor as well give you a great range of units to pick from for this model to lead in your warband. That is it for all the Conquest factions though. Don't forget you can use our discount code in the description of the video to grab 10% off anything on the Parabellum e-store. This will go a great way to helping the channel continue to provide Conquest Last Argument of Kings content for the channel. Well, thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, if you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fine little community here, you can do so by joining our Discord server, which is linked down in the description of the video. Also, if you'd like to help support the channel more financially, you can do so either by joining our Patreon or YouTube members, of which you'll find both the links of both of them down in the video's description as well. As a special thank you to everyone who does support the channel via Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give a shout out to them all. So a special thanks to our Patreons, Christian Weir, James Soren, Greenskins Gaming, AJC, Kenny Lowell, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, Anton Nilsson, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, and Samuel. And a special shout out to our YouTube members as well: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Chris Rollis, Ronya, Vinny, Lockloric, the Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Revenar, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Sean Scott, DS, and Ariana Edwards. And a special thanks lastly to, first of all, Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork you can see pictured here for the channel. And a special shout out to Xmorphic, who does all the amazing background work for our Discord server. You're both absolute legends. Thank you all for watching once again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay safe everyone, stay well. Most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.